Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at Root Film on the Nintendo Switch, a mystery adventure set within the Root Letter universe. But is this one a blockbuster hit, or should you skip and save that cash? Well, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. So story, and first off, yes, it may be in Root Letter's universe, but this is a whole new story and new cast of characters, no prior knowledge required. The story here, though, you are up-and-coming director Rintaro Yagumo. You've been selected to reboot a mystery drama TV series, and this TV series, it was cancelled for an unknown reason 10 years ago. Now, working towards this role, things quickly go wrong, and murder basically interrupts a location scouting process, and now you must solve this mystery. Now, along this journey, expect a ton of locations and a huge cast of characters as you journey across the Shimane prefecture. Story was great. You'll also get to control a character by the name of Rio, and it's full of twists, minor horror, thriller and comedy, and overall, I've got to say, I was seriously impressed with this one as well. I loved the characters. They're all unique and strong in their own way, and I was constantly looking forward to just learning that little bit more about them. A minor issue here, though, I will say some translation and grammatical issues throughout, but nothing that ever harmed the experience. So gameplay, and first up, yes, it is a visual novel, but a little more involved than most. What surprised me first off, the lack of dialogue options. There's none. Normally with the genre, I'm used to, choosing responses. Here instead, the story, the conversations, they're mostly linear. Instead with this one, you'll actually be choosing where you go next and who you speak to, thanks to a map of Shimane and then yellow boxes that highlight either characters or items that you can interact with. I've always been a fan of the likes of AI and Phoenix Wright, and this for sure felt closer to that type of experience, more involved than a traditional visual novel. As you progress though and talk to the characters in this world, there's a mechanic called intuition, and here the game essentially highlights an important moment, a sentence that you've now committed to memory that will be later used as some sort of evidence. These are going to be key to your success though as you build towards some sort of interrogation. Here you basically need to choose the right clue to push the potential culprit over the edge so they admit to their guilt. It's all measured then, these interrogation moments, by a bar at the top of the screen that fills the further you get into the conversation, representing either failure or success. Now, I don't want to show that today because, well, spoilers, but these moments, they are great fun and for sure rewarding as you continue to push things forward. The gameplay is unique though. The conversations mostly here, as I say, not for you to influence, but rather for you to, listen. You need to figure out that next location to head to. The map then as well, it's sizable, and quickly the opening couple of locations, it turns into multiple, and it's now down to you to figure out where you're going next. Just know, you gotta listen, or should I say read in this case with this one, because you can very quickly find yourself lost, and you'll be visiting all of these locations just waiting for that next cutscene to kick in. And trust me, I know from personal experience because that happened to me a lot. There's just no guidance here at all really, rather the game pushes you to use that brain power. Problems, the main one, it's actually the indicator of conversations. It's not the gameplay itself, but each character item, as I said, it's represented by a yellow square on screen. It works, makes for quick navigation, but it doesn't disappear once all conversation topics are exhausted. So most characters here, they have multiple conversation paths, meaning you're going to need to click on them a few times to get all of the information. Now, once these conversations were complete, in my eyes, this yellow box indicator should have disappeared once you'd exhausted all conversation options, rather than making you watch the same thing over and over. Now what it means is you kind of live in this fear of you might miss something, so you're always going to end up watching that last conversation, at least a second time. Likewise then for complaints, that controls work absolutely fine. It's nothing more than selecting options, but on the map they can be a little finicky. It's an easy fix, or at least a suggestion from me to you if you do pick up this game. Use the D-pad instead. It's so much easier than the stick itself, and it will make for a huge improvement in how location selection works. Overall though, gameplay works. It's a heavy visual novel, as I say, but here every moment it feels like there's something for you to do, something for you to interact with, whether it's choosing choosing the next location you visit or next individual you speak to, or even of course those eventual interrogations. It led to it capturing my attention a whole lot more, and yeah, really enjoyed it. A nice relaxing pace still, with a storyline and gameplay style where I still felt absolutely involved. Visually then, I'm a fan of the art style. It's mostly still images, but I really like the overall design they went for. It's incredibly clean and sharp for the most part, outside of like the occasional bit where it zooms in. Little bit of pixelation there, but overall it captures the characters' personalities and reactions well. Throughout then as well, there's a number of locations that adds for variety, and I was impressed with the fact it all worked together, but they switched kind of up the layout from screen to screen for different moments, meaning it never got too repetitive. Outside of that then, I liked the movie theme they went for as well. They tied it into the delivery, as each of our stories is cut into episodes, each with its own kind of opening and credit sequence. It just thematically, if anything, felt right. A few actual fully animated sequences probably would have been a nice touch, but otherwise, yeah, look, very few complaints from me. Audio finally, and it's all fully voice acted but not English. That said, it still brings a huge amount of personality to the experience rather than, you know, silence. The voice work to my ear as well just sounded solid, and they deliver with the level of emotion you would expect from scene to scene. You can always, you know, capture what the characters are feeling. There's a few minor sound effects as well here and there, but nothing huge. You know, some like ambience and just that kind of occasional small piece occasionally. Finally though, the music, it is repetitive for sure, but it again shifts with the tone of the tale, especially as it increases the pace alongside investigations or interrogations. It just never gets annoying as well or in your face, which I think is absolutely needed in a game that's essentially relying on loops of music from location to location. So the final verdict, and Brit Film impressed. I enjoyed the mystery aspect, the murder of it all, and then the use of a film crew. I really liked the characters we got involved here, and it definitely made for something interesting as they location scouted. The cast is just what carries it. It's good character development, strong personalities, and yeah, I was actually invested and I cared about them. While the game has a few issues, mostly the fact it gives you no indication a conversation is over with, you know, a particular character or looking at a certain item, I was still hooked. This could just do with now some minor tidying up. Otherwise though, look, visual novel fans and even mystery fans, you should find a lot to like here, and the extra gameplay leads to something a little more rewarding than a traditional visual novel experience may provide. Today I'm giving Root Film a great 8 out of 10. The elements here, they just absolutely work together, and I can't wait to see now where they take this series next. With that though, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.